I think I will just take a copy as you go through, then I can see the signatures, etc. This is the original. Thank you.
Thank you, Malone.
Let's make it easier. Let's make it easier. Ms. Lombard, were you given a copy of this statement before you started testifying?
Mevrou Lombard, was u hierdie verklaring gegee voor u kon getuig het?
That's correct, my lord.
Yes, my lord.
Just have a look at the document that's now shown to you, whether it's the same one that you received.
Kan u dan die dokument kyk wat voor u is dieselfde dokument wat u gekry het?
That's correct, my lord.
That's correct, my lord.
And I see it signed on every page, as well as the end of the statement, and it indicates a preamble that you were assisted by an advocate, Eben van Tonder,
That's correct.
preparing the statement.
Ek sien op dit is geteken op die elke bladsy en advokaat wat u bygestaan het is Eben van Tonder.
That's correct, my lord.
That's correct, my lord.
And you confirm the correctness of this statement, it being yours.
En die inhoud wat in die verklaring staan, dit is hoe u afgegee het.
That's correct, my lord.
That's correct, my lord.
Marked Exhibit X,
Is for Sierra, my lord. Is.
X.
X. Thank you.
Last one is W, so this one will be X.
That's true. Thank you.
It has scold 'n waarskuwingsverklaring afgeneem van 'n persoon wat haar bereidwillig verklaar om in terme van artikel 204 van die strafproseswet, wet 51 van 1977 getuienis af te lê in strafregtelike verrigtinge. And then it has the warnings that the prosecutor told us about before she asked me to caution the witness, and further the witness statement that goes up to page 17. That's where it has the signature, and it has an attachment, page 18, which contains the section of the Act, section 204 of the Criminal Procedure Act. So the statement is then admitted into evidence as an exhibit. Yes, thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Mr.
Adamson.
Ms. Lombard, that document now, as you heard, is your 204 statement.
Maar vir Lombard is u gehoor hier verklaring onder die 204 verklaring.
That's correct, my lord.
That's correct, my lord.
When I started with my cross-examination with you this morning, or not this morning, when I started my cross-examination
Yesterday.
Yesterday, that's it. Thank you, my lord.
Die tyd wat u begin het met kruisondervraging gister,
we started, as your evidence led, events that took place on Sunday, 18 February 2024,
Jy het gekryg en goed dat geweer het op die Sondag, jaar 2024. Datum die 18e.
And I'm not going to go through evidence now about going to Ayanda, giving him food, coming back to your house, but your evidence, as I recall, at about 9 o'clock or thereabouts, you went to Kelly and Buta's house. You'll remember that?
Ek gaan nie deur die hele mense getuies gaan nie, omdat jy gesê het nie, maar jy het gepraat van die kos om teruggaan en dat jy nie kos gekry het nie. Maar op daardie dag, jy het na Kelly en Buta's huis toe gegaan.
That's correct, my lord.
Yes, that's correct, my lord.
And you were at Buta and Kelly's house from around about 9 o'clock.
Jy was by Kelly's huis om rondom 9 uur se kant.
That's correct, my lord.
That's correct, my lord.
And at some stage, the court asked you a question and asked you how long after the detective have left.
En die hof het ook vir u gevra hoe lang nadat die bestuurder geloop het.
To establish a time at that station, you said it's 2 to 3 hours. So
En toe as ek kyk die tyd gekry so was dit 2 tot 3 ure toe.
I just want to confirm this before I ask you a question, confirm with you. Then if you look at paragraph 1, let me just see.
Ek wil net van u se kant voor as u na paragraaf 1 kyk.
That is now on that document that you have where the verklaring starts. It's the 1, 2, 3.
It's on page 5.
It's the 5th page, Mom.
Yeah.
I'm referring to
Number
the 5th
page,
page, and it says there's a sentence up on the top says ons almal het saam dwelms gebruik by Kelly en Buta se huis. You see that one, that page?
Dit is die bladsy 5 waar geskryf ons almal het saam gebruik by Kelly en Buta se huis.
That's correct, my lord.
Yes.
Yes, that's correct.
Then your 204 statement in paragraph 1, you refer to that you took Ayanda some food around about 7:30.
En op u se 204 tyd verklaring u sê dat dit u vir Ayanda kos geneem so 7 uur se kant. 7:30.
Yes. And then in that paragraph you confirmed that you went to Kelly Smith's house at about 9 o'clock.
En die verklaring ook sê dat u na Kelly se huis gaan om 9 uur se kant.
We went through the evidence, although accused 1 denies that the evidence that you gave about the bakkie was on the 18th. The event was not denied.
Ons het die getuienisse gaan waar om beskuldig nummer 1 ook en dat die dan nie gebeur op die 17 maar die gebeurtenis gebeur.
And now up to now, this point,
Tot op hierdie punt,
we have gone through your evidence,
ons het deur die getuienis gegaan.
the detective's bakkie, what happened after that, you know what's happened up to now, and at some stage
Die speurder se bakkie wat daar was, wat weer gegaan het en u weet wat het gebeur volgende.
And before-
Wat gebeur het.
And before we started dealing with your evidence about Kelly breaking the window and threatening to stab Buta,
En voorgevoer waar Kelly gedreig het om op Buta te steek en die venster gebreek het.
you confirmed to the court that at that time, prior to that statement that I made now, the threatening of Buta, it was about 2 or 3 hours since the morning that you have been there.
Can you please repeat that, sir?
2 or 3 hours after the detective left.
After the detective left.
En die is
Sorry.
gesê dit was ons 2-3 ure nadat die speurder verdwyn was.
About 2 or 3 hours after the detective had left.
spieelrevet was.
We ended up with your evidence in cross-examination now before we broke.
Voor ons afgestaan het op dat weer, so ons is het kruis en vragen.
Before the court adjourned, your evidence was that it was about 1 o'clock. You went back to your house. It was about 1 o'clock, and there was somebody who brought you money. You got food and all that. So
Je het gezien was omtrent van 1 uur se kant, je was by eerst geweest en iemand het daar Can it, the defense just repeat, my lord, I just want to make it clear, is it money or food?
money for.
Want omtrent so 1 uur se kant toe die persoon daar gekom, geld gebruik vir kos.
That's correct, you remember that?
That's correct, my lord.
That's correct, my lord.
And throughout your evidence today,
Hier is er getuienis vandag.
you were asked a number of times about your children, and you confirmed that you had both children with you. Both children with you.
U het verskeie keer gevra, was beide eerste kinders by u en u het gesê ja, beide kinders was by u gewees.
That's correct, my lord.
That's correct.
And they were sitting outside the house there on the floor, on the ground.
Hulle het daar buite gesit op die grond.
That's correct, my lord.
That's correct.
Now I want you to have a look at paragraph 13 of your
13.
statement.
Sorry,
I know you're going to
my lord.
13. I know you're going to 13.
Sorry, my lord, the witness just said something.
He wants the witness on page 6, paragraph 13 to go to that paragraph.
The witness was the court of the defense was conversing my lord. She said something, so I just wanted to hear what you were saying.
Kan u net alsjeblieft net 'n bietjie stadiger praat? Ik kan nie lekker uitmaak wat u sê en u praat te vinnig in Afrikaans.
Oh, the witness is saying that I should just speak slowly, my lord, because I'm going fast in Afrikaans.
Good. We'll do that.
Right, so you are on page 6.
As hier op bladsy 6,
You look at paragraph 13.
as hier na paragraaf 13 gaan, bladsy 6.
That's correct, my lord.
You there? Okay.
Yes, I'm there.
Now, I'm going to read it. It's in Afrikaans.
Ik ga dit uitlees, dit is in Afrikaans.
Ongeveer 13:45 is ek terug na Kelly se huis.
Around about 13:45 was back at Kelly's house.
My kinders was saam met my die keer.
My children were with me this time around.
And then you explain ek het van die rotse af weer verby die ek het van my huis af weer verby die rotse geloop na Kelly se huis.
I walked again from my house, again past the rocks and went to Kelly's house.
So my question to you is, if I read that paragraph, the first sentence of paragraph 13,
So my vraag is, as ek hierdie paragraaf lees, paragraaf 13, die eerste sin,
where you refer to my kinders was saam met my die keer.
where you say that my children were with me this time around,
That implicates, that means that you're saying when you were there the morning before lunchtime now, your children weren't with you.
in ander woorde, beteken dat die oggend die tyd dat ek daar was, die kinders was ek saam met my gewees het.
Just before the witness answers. Is the statement that you're putting it as a positive, that's what it means?
I'm stating it that this sentence means that she's taken the
Are
children
you
with her.
putting it to the witness
Diki.
that's the only meaning? That the children were not with her earlier?
That is what this sentence in paragraph 13 indicates, Mother.
You see, what are the general rules when one interprets a sentence in the context of a statement? You should look at it contextually. I've got no problem with you going there. I knew you were going to go there, and I quickly threw my eye over it. But it's not the only meaning. Because if you look at the context, she explains, and she doesn't say anything about the children. So maybe you should ask her, what did she mean by putting it that way? And then you can challenge her on it. Because to simply say that's the only influence, I'm not so sure. Because no mention is made of the children, but we also know that we went to the policeman's evidence this morning, the statement, and we know that the statement refers to a person with a child. Now, whether it was her or not, that we haven't gotten to that point. So just rephrase the question, and then we see where we're going.
Thank you, Mark. Ms. Lombard, this is your statement, that's the sentence that you made, paragraph 13, the first sentence, correct?
Dit is eerste verklaring en die verklaring wat u gemaak het in die paragraaf 13, die eerste sin.
That's correct, my lord.
Yes, that's correct, my lord.
And you are fluent in Afrikaans?
Yes, fluent in Afrikaans.
That's correct, my lord.
That's correct, my lord.
Now, what do you see, does it mean, paragraph 13, first sentence? Ongeveer 13:45 as ek terug na Kelly se huis, my kinders was saam met my die keer.
As die paragraaf 13 lees net so daar geskryf is, soos nou die program uitgelees het, waar sê dit ongeveer 13:45 en ek het teruggegaan na Kelly se huis toe, saam met my kinders die keer. Wat doen jy dan?
Ik heb mijn kinderen samengevat. Ik heb verkeerd gepraat met die zijn.
I took my children with, it's just that I said it wrong.
Die woord.
That word.
Now, in the preceding paragraphs, you tell the story about what happened when you went there, round about 9 o'clock.
Die volgende paragraaf verduidelik jy wat het gebeur tydens wat jy dan was om 9 uur se kant.
No mention is made of the children.
En geen
In those paragraphs, I've actually checked it.
En geen melding gemaak van kinders in die volgende paragraaf.
In the statement.
En eerste verklaring.
You're also referring to paragraph 1 now?
From paragraph 1
Yes.
Through to paragraph 12.
Yes.
There's no mention made of the children that accompanied her to Kelly's house.
Van paragraaf 1 aan tot paragraaf 12. Er is geen melding van kinders wat met u gegaan het naar Kelly's huis toe.
Are you following?
Volg jy dit?
Ik volg het, my lord.
Now Mr. Harmse says,
Nou, meneer Harmse sê dit,
now when you go back at 1:45,
maar as jy nog kwart voor 2 teruggaan,
you find it necessary to tell Advocate van Tonder who drafted the statement, and I see Captain Lombard was also involved, according to the preamble to the statement. That you find it necessary to make specific mention that on that occasion the children were with you.
en u vind dit nodig dat op hierdie spesifieke tyd nie dan u het teruggegaan of u het gegaan met u se kinders hierdie keer dan toe kwart voor 2 en die advokaat meneer van Tonder die advokaat. Okay, luister mevrou nie. Die hof het vroeër verduidelik dat van paragraaf 1 tot paragraaf 12 toe. gee geen melding van u se kinders nie. Nee, nou meneer Arms sê dit op paragraaf 13. U noem daar so die tyd wat omtrent so 1:15 en u was na Kelly se huis toe. En hierdie keer u se kinders was saam. Nou wat die prokureur eintlik sê is dat hier u sê dat hierdie keer u het u kinders saamgeneem. En die ander kere die kinders was nie daar nie. En toe het die hof verduidelik dat luister, die tyd wat die verklaring gemaak was, die persoon of iets prokureur aan meneer Eben van Tonder was saam gewees en ook kaptein Lombard, die persoon wat die verklaring geneem het. Verstaan u nou?
That's correct, my lord.
That's correct, my lord.
So do you understand the difficulty that it can be interpreted that the children were not with between 9 and 1?
Verstaan u nou dat een persoon kan so lees of een persoon kan so van die vroeger keer, u was saam met u kinders en man, 1:15, u kinders was saam gewees.
That's correct. Ik verstaan nou, my lord.
That's correct, now I understand, my lord.
Thank you, Mr. Adams. Now you
Thank you, Maru.
you can go further on the point if you wish. Because if you're not going to ask the question, I will ask it. Why didn't you say anything about the children accompanying you when you went there in the morning?
Nou, kom het u iets gesê om melding gemaakt van kinders, die tyd wat daar u vroeger dag gewees, meneer geliefde kanten. U het gesê, ons nog 9 uur, nee, die oggend, u was daar gewees. Nee, nou die hof van u se kant afval. Hoekom het u die melding gemaakt om te sê dat meneer geliefde kant, u was daar ook met my kinders. Dit is nie wat jy doen, die vraag, dit is soos hier, vroeger die kinders was nie daar nie, dit is wat u vraag.
Daai oggend, ik kan niet zo zeggen, sorry my lord. Dus ik is zo eerlijk my lord, wat ik nu hier zit my lord.
My lord, I'm honest as I'm sitting here that morning.
Ik was verkeerd geweest.
I was wrong.
Dat moet niet daai oggend geweest het wat mijn kinders samen gegaan het.
It was not that morning that my children came with away with.
Sorry my lord, nou weer verkeerd gepraat.
Sorry, my lord, I spoke wrongly again.
Ik heb mijn kinders samengevat die oggend, maar drie keer heb ik mijn kinders samengevat.
I took the children with the morning, but this time around I did not.
My lord, dat is nog een regel.
Okay,
I still don't right.
let's take it step by step. The morning at 9 o'clock, round about 9, when you went around the first time,
So, die oggend 9 uur, die eerste keer wat u gegaan het.
you told us the purpose of going there was because you're going to ask for food for the kids.
En die rede wat u daartoe gegaan het, u het ons gaan vra vir die kinders.
Dat is correct my lord.
That's correct, my lord.
Did the kids go with you?
Jy het die kinders saam met u gegaan.
Die tijd toen ik naar Kelly's huis toe gaan.
Die oggend om die kos te gaan vra. Yes.
Dat is correct my lord.
Yes, my lord.
And when you went in the afternoon, 1:45, did the kids go with you?
Die tyd wat
The
u
second time now.
die tyd wat u die middag gegaan het, 1:45, die tweede keer het die kinders saam gegaan.
Dat is correct my lord.
Yes, that's correct.
So, both times that you went there on that day so far, the kids were with you.
Beide kere wat u gegaan het, die kinders was saam met u gewees.
Dat is correct my lord.
That's correct, my lord.
Now I'm going to ask you again, in the statement that was taken, do you know why it's not in the statement that the kids were with you early in the morning?
Ek gaan vir u vra soos dit staan in die verklaring, nee, weet hoekom u die genoem het dat die kinders was saam gewees op die oggend nie.
Yes.
Die tijd wat ik die paragraaf van de Ibn van Donder nou geer, doet ik die. Dus mijn kunst gedachten niet en mijn gedachten aan mijn mind geweest in mijn loon.
My lord, when I gave the statement of this paragraph at that time, my children were not in my mind at that time when I handed over to Mr. Van Donder.
Dat is de reden hoekom dit nou zo geschreven is in mijn loon.
Yes,
That's the reason why it's written at that time.
you can proceed, Mr. Armstrong.
Thank you. Thank you, my lord. But, Miss Lombard, this is a statement, same kind of statement as your confession that you made. It's a statement, things are written, questions are asked, you give information, it's written down, and at the end you are being asked, and it's probably read back to you, or you could read it yourself if it's in Afrikaans. And then you are asked specifically. If you look at paragraph, at page 15, that's the bottom, and then you go to page 16.
Hier na bladsy 15 aan en daar op bladsy 16 vanaf.
You on page 16?
That's correct, my lord.
Yes, I am.
On top it says there, SE. And this is now, I assume, Mr. Advocate van Tonder that took the statement for you. He asked you, and it's written here, is u tevrede dat dit wat u gesê het korrek genotuleer is? And your answer was, ja meneer. Are you satisfied that what you said is correctly noted here?
Soos dit hier in bladsy 15 is en dit sorry my lord, die persoon wat die verklaring geneem het, Lombard, het gevra, is u tevrede wat in u is het korrek wat geskryf is in u se verklaring? U het geantwoord, ja meneer. As an answer, my lord.
Yes.
Do you confirm? You said ja meneer, and by that you mean, can you tell the court what you mean when you said ja meneer?
Kan u dat goed verduidelik as u nie geantwoord het en sy sê ja meneer, wat het u bedoel by dit?
That it is correct.
Dat die inhoud van die verklaring wat u gesê is korrek en u is tevrede met die inhoud.
That's correct, my lord.
That's correct, my lord.
And then the next, for the sake of completeness, the next question is u tevrede dat hierdie verklaring juis en in ooreenstemming met u eie weergawe is? Are you satisfied that this statement is correct and in my English is gone. In accordance with your own version?
Dit is hier geskryf as gevra, is u tevrede wat dit hier in verklaring staan soos u gesê het?
That's correct, my lord.
That's correct.
So what that means, I put you, what that means is that what this statement says from your paragraph 1, the message that it carries is what you conveyed and what you told the advocate, what he wrote down, and that is correct.
Soos die antwoord was soos die antwoord weer gevra het, die vorige een en hierdie een, soos van paragraaf 1 af nie, tot paragraaf 12 toe, soos meneer van Tonder het geskryf dat u was gelukkig met wat ingeskryf is in die verklaring.
That's correct, my lord.
That's correct.
Now the questions that have already been put to you, and I want to do it again with the leave of the court.
Ek het al reeds die vraag wat u gevra, maar ek gaan nie vir u vraag, kan u weer die vraag vraag.
Nowhere in paragraph 1 to 12 is any mention of the children, whether they stayed at home, whether they went with you. But paragraph 13 indicates that, supporting that between paragraph 1 and 12 there were no kids with you, but they went with you the second time when you went back.
En u van paragraaf 1 afneem tot paragraaf 12 toe. Hy sê dat u se kinders was nie saam met u nie, maar as u dit gaan na paragraaf 13 toe, dan sê kwart oor keer, nee, die kinders is saam met u gegaan as 'n soort is dan bekryg tot paragraaf 13. May I answer?
Yes, you can answer.
That's correct, my lord.
That's correct.
Is it correct that your message that you had conveyed here showing that the children, not mentioning whether the children had gone with you. Is it correct? Is that the right message? That the children didn't go with you in the morning?
Die boodskap wat u hier oorgedraai het, om te sê dat die kinders was saam met u in die oggend, dit is die korrekte boodskap.
Dis korrek, my lord.
That's correct.
So it is correct. The message in paragraph 1 to 12 seems to indicate that there no children were with you, and you say that is correct.
U sê dat van paragraaf 1 na paragraaf 12, dat is geen melding van kinders nie. So die prokureur sê dat stem u saam dat dat is geen melding van kinders, dat beteken die kinders was saam met u gewees in die oggend, maar kwart voor 2 die kinders was nie die keer saam met u gewees. As dit die korrekte boodskap of iets die dan wat u gesê het.
But your evidence was that your children were with
This
you.
answer. Did you understand the question?
En die vraag verstaan.
Kan u dit net my weer herhaal asseblief?
Can you please repeat it?
Still about the message.
The message that you wanted to convey through the information that you gave the advocate who took your statement. He talks to you, you tell him something. He writes it down. He reads it back to you. That's when he asked you, was this correct? And you said yes. Now, what I'm putting to you is that the message in paragraph 1 to 12, what can one see there is nothing is mentioned of the child or children, and anybody reads it will assume and be sure that no children were with you when you went to Kelly's house in the morning. Is that correct? You agree with that?
Wat u vir meneer van Tonder gesê het, nee, hy is 'n advokaat. Die ding wat u is verklaar.
It was actually recorded by Captain Lombard, but Advocate van Tonder assisted the witness and he was present at the time representing the witness when the statement was.
Die tyd is verklaring genoem was nie. U probeer meneer advokaat van Tonder was teenwoordig. Maar die persoon wat die verklaring neergeskryf het, Lombard, nee. U het gepraat van paragraaf 1 na paragraaf 12 toe. Dat is geen melding van kinders nie. Maar op paragraaf 13, kwart voor 2, u sê dat u het na Kelly's huis toe gegaan en hierdie keer u se kinders saamgegaan. Of u se kinders saamgeneem. Nou, op hierdop daar, bladsy 16, toe word u gevra, is die gelukkig met wat in die staan, is dit so geskryf, soos u dit oorgedraai, u antwoord ja. So die advokaat sê in ander woorde, as enige persoon dit lees, van paragraaf 1 na 12 toe, 'n mens sal sê dat die kinders die eerste keer op die oggend, hulle was nie saam, maar kwart voor 2, hulle het saam met u hierdie keer na Kelly's huis gegaan. Dit is wat die advokaat vraag.
Dis korrek, my lord.
That's correct, my lord.
But now, and I stand corrected, my lord, but Captain Lombard being the...
It's Captain Lombard with 1A.
Yes.
And the witness is Lombard with
Yes.
a double A.
Yes. I stand corrected. I just missed it.
Yeah.
He's the commissioner who took the...
He was the scribe.
He's the scribe, yes.
And he took us to a page earlier on, one of the pages at the end, that suggests that how the statement was taken, and I'm just throwing an inference, that he took notes, and then he compiled the statement, because he says that at the end of the taking of the statement and the notes were read to the witness. And then he asked those questions that you asked.
Thank you, Mark. But we know what I'm putting to you now. We know from your evidence this morning, if that was truthful, that you said both your children went with you the morning from your house to Kelly's house.
Ons het van u se getuienis afsê vir die tyd wat u getuig het en dat die u se kinders was saam gewees die oggend na Kelly se huis toe, as het waar was.
My Lord, kan u my verskoon, dit was my fout gewees vanoggend dis môre wat ek nog gesê het, my kinders was saam met my gewees.
My Lord, cannot give me said that it was my fault, but my children was his.
I just want to get an understanding of the answer. Are you saying that it was your mistake this morning by saying that the kids were with you?
Ek wil vir u verstaan. Sê u dit was u se fout gewees om te sê dat die kind was saam met my.
Dis korrek, my Lord.
That's correct, my Lord.
Does that mean that the children were not with you in the morning?
Beteken dat die kind was nie saam met u gewees in die oggend.
Dis korrek, my Lord.
That's correct, my Lord.
But that was then not the first time that you made that mistake.
Dan dit was die eerste keer wat u dit daardie fout gemaak het.
Because in your evidence in chief, that was when the prosecutor led you.
Want die tyd wat die aanklaer vir u vrae gevra het,
That was last week.
dit was laas week gewees.
You also said the kids were with you in the morning.
U het ook gesê dat die kinders was saam gewees die oggend.
In fact, it was not only on those two occasions that you told us that.
En dit was nie net op daardie kere wat u dit vir ons gesê het nie, gedoen het nie.
So you told us on Friday afternoon
Jy het ons Vrydag gesê
that you went around to Kelly, you took the children with you.
en jy het genoem dat u het na kerk toe gegaan en u die kinders saamgeneem.
Can you remember that?
Kan u dit onthou?
Dis korrek, my Lord.
That was when the prosecutor got very tired.
En dit is die keer wat die aanklaer genoeg was.
Dis korrek, my Lord.
That's correct, my Lord.
And you were jumping around on different trends in your evidence because you were jumping to when you were arrested much later.
Jy het dit van een punt na 'n ander punt gegaan die tyd wat u gearresteer was.
And I understand everybody was tired, so I adjourned the court.
Verstaanbaar dan almal was moeg geweest, dit is nie gestop het.
Can you recall that?
Kan u dit onthou?
Dis korrek, my Lord.
Because
That's correct.
I made a note of the children.
Ek het note gemaak van die kinders.
Then we resumed on Monday. Then we went back to the morning of the 18th.
Ons het dan maandag gegaan, die 18de, die oggend.
Then you repeated the issue of the children
En
with you in the morning.
En u het weer eens herhaal van die kinders se storie, dat die kinders was in die gewees die oggend.
Can you recall that?
Kan u dit onthou?
Dis korrek, my Lord.
That's correct, my Lord.
Then earlier today, Mr. Harmsa asked you about that.
My Lord,
En vroeger ook dit
I'm saying to the witness, earlier today you asked her about that, about the children.
twice, at least twice.
I'm getting there. Can you recall that?
En vanoggend ook by die harmsyd vir u 2 keer gevra dat dit van die kinders storie van die onbedede is aangeneem.
That's correct, my Lord.
That's correct, my Lord.
And we spent the last almost 3/4 of an hour on the same point.
Ons het omtrent 'n rukkie gebly op daardie selfde punt, op daardie een punt.
And now suddenly you're telling me, but you made a mistake. But you've made the mistake at least 4 times.
Nou,
And it took 45, almost, it's 44 minutes
nou,
to get the concession out.
nou, ek sê u dat u het ook fout gemaak en dit nou 4 keer u het fout gemaak as ons nou kyk en ons het ook 'n rukkie gebly op dieselfde punt.
Are you still with me?
As u nog steeds aan my?
That's correct, my Lord.
That's correct, my Lord.
Do you have any explanation for this?
Het u enige verduideliking van dit?
My Lord, ek weet nou nie hoe om vir my Lord te kan verduidelik, maar soos ek weet nie, ek voel jammer, ek voel seer, omdat ek nou vir my Lord nou.
My Lord, I don't know how to explain this, but I'm sorry, my Lord, and for that. My Lord, I see the word that is shaking, and she's getting emotional, my Lord.
Do you want a moment? Ms. Lombard, do you need some time?
And will you take the phone?
It's 1:45. I will take 15 minutes. I will come back at 2 o'clock.
Ons gaan terug op die